ADR. Promoting dialogue.
It's 6 p.m. in Dakar, Accra and Monrovia, 7 p.m. in Abuja and Porto Novo. Good evening and many thanks for staying tuned to West Africa Democracy Radio, broadcasting on 94.9 FM and around the world on wadr.org. Welcome to Newslink. First, our top stories. Fourth African Union Small and Medium Scale Enterprises Forum gets underway in Nigeria.
There can be no African prosperity without a strong MSME ecosystem. This forum is a continental call to action. We owe it to ourselves, to our children, and to generations unborn.
Sierra Leone's Mada Bio takes over ECOWAS leadership from Nigeria's Senegal as a cause for unity amid growing instability. Liberia's former Speaker Kofa and others faces potential rearrest if they fail to validate their bail bond.
And so they are in error. They should make sure that they make the bill adequate. That's the only thing they can do. The onus is on them to bring the surety. If they don't bring the surety, then they have themselves to blame.
Burkina Faso's government urges the population to report abuse and corruption attempts by state security. Please stay tuned for details of these stories and more.
Christopher Aticho with Newslink.
Many thanks for joining our broadcast. This edition opens in Nigeria, where the Fourth African Union Small and Medium Scale Enterprises Forum gets underway in the capital, Abuja. The week-long event, which kicked off on Monday, brings together delegates from over 50 African countries, gathering to explore strategies for strengthening intra-African trade and boosting their contribution for the macro small and medium scale enterprises MSMEs to the continent's economic growth. WADR's Yachenu Sasetu report from Abuja.
Declaring the forum open at the Presidential Villa, Nigeria's Vice President Kashim Shettima emphasized the importance of micro, small and medium enterprises as essential partners in the continent's development.
There can be no African prosperity without a strong MSME ecosystem. This forum is a continental call to action. We owe it to ourselves, to our children, and to generations unborn to integrate our informal sector into the framework of formal intra-African trade. I'm absolutely confident that through our collaborative efforts, this forum will mark a turning point.
Additionally, Ron Usman Omar, Director of Industry, Minerals, Entrepreneurship and Tourism, spoke on behalf of the AU Commissioner for Economic Development, Integration and Industry. She highlighted the economic impact of MSMEs, noting that they contribute approximately 40% to Africa's GDP. Ron Usman Omar further noted that MSMEs have the potential to leverage digital innovations, expand their businesses, and access new markets.
In today's rapid evolving digital landscape, our MSMEs must embrace digital literacy, e-commerce integration, and innovative technology to remain competitive, not just within Africa, but globally. Digital innovation is no longer a luxury, but a necessity for African MSMEs.
The fourth AU MSME Forum runs from June 23 to 27, 2025 under the theme Building Resilient MSMEs through Digital Innovation, Market Access and Affordable Financing. For WADR, Yechinu Sasetu in Abuja.
We continue in Nigeria, where a new chapter has been opened for the Economic Community of West African States, ECOWAS, as President Julius Maada Bio of Sierra Leone assumes leadership as the chair of the regional bloc. He succeeds Nigeria's President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, who completes his tenure after 2 years at the helm. President Bio's appointment was confirmed during the 67th Ordinary Session of the Authority of Heads of State and Government, held in Abuja, where West African leaders convened to tackle urgent political and economic challenges confronting the region. During his inaugural address, President Maada Bio outlined 4 key strategic priorities for his tenure.
First, restoring constitutional order and deepening democracy. Second, revitalizing regional security cooperation. Third, unlocking economic integration. Fourth, building institutional credibility. ECOWAS must reform itself and become more transparent, efficient, and responsive to its people's needs. In parts of our region, the constitutional order has been disrupted. Yet, across West Africa, citizens, especially our youth, are demanding not just elections, but accountability, transparency, and a fair stake in national life.
ECOWAS newly appointed President Julius Maada Bio of Sierra Leone. Still on news in the sub-regional bloc, Ghana is demanding clear time-bound steps to accelerate the long-delayed rollout of the eco single currency for West Africa. The call was made by Ghana's Deputy Finance Minister Thomas Ampem Nyako as he addressed the 2025 West African Economic Summit underway in Abuja, Nigeria. Nadi Tete has more in this following reports.
More than 2 decades after the idea of the eco single currency was first proposed, West African nations are yet to see its full implementation, despite countless high-level meetings, communiques, and regional commitments. The eco currency backed by ECOWAS is designed to promote seamless trade, lower transaction costs, and boost economic integration across the region's member states. But progress has been slow. Speaking at the summit in Abuja, Ghana's Deputy Finance Minister Thomas Ampem Nyako urged regional leaders to move beyond promises and political statements.
Undeniably, we all support the dream of a single currency, the eco. But while we continue dreaming, our traders struggle.
He revealed that in 2024 alone, businesses across West Africa lost an estimated $2.3 billion in value due to currency conversion costs, a clear consequence of the fragmented monetary landscape. To tackle this, Ghana proposed the immediate establishment of a regional currency convertibility mechanism supported by ECOWAS central banks to enable smooth transactions between currencies such as the Naira, Cedi, and CFA franc, particularly through digital platforms.
The absence of a common West African currency continues to fragment our economies, hinder investment, and raise the cost of doing business across all our borders. It is time to move from vision to action. Ghana therefore calls for the immediate establishment of a time-bound action plan for the eco, with clear milestones, institutional responsibilities, and monitoring mechanisms, all under the direct political authority of the ECOWAS Authority of Heads of State and Government.
The Deputy Minister stressed that the future of the region's economic integration depends on bold, decisive leadership, adding that the time to act is now. For WADR, Nadidi Teti, Accra.
Let's turn attention to the continuation of Senegalese Prime Minister Ousmane Sonko's visit to the People's Republic of China. On Sunday, Sonko chaired the Sino-Senegalese Economic Forum. During the engagement, several agreements and memoranda of understanding MOUs were signed at the forum covering industry, housing and transportation. Sankole Janko reports.
The China-Senegal Economic Forum was held on Sunday in Hangzhou, which marks one of the key reasons of the Senegalese Prime Minister's official visit to China. During the meeting, several agreements and conventions were signed in the fields of industry, infrastructure, transportation, energy and housing. During his speeches, the Senegalese head of government focused his attention on the National Transformation Agenda, Senegal 2050. According to Ousmane Sonko, Senegal's development rallies on a strategic partnership with the private sector, and China is a key partner in this ambition. As the Senegalese head of government invites Chinese economic players to invest in the country, it should be noted that several Chinese companies are already present and very active in the infrastructure sector. They are involved in major road and rail projects. Through the 2025-2029 National Development Strategy, Senegal places the private sector at the heart of its economic transformation. Several reforms have been implemented to stimulate private investment, including the simplification of administrative procedures, the strengthening of legal certainty, and public-private partnerships. According to the National Agency of Statistics and Demography, China was Senegal's third largest customer after the Netherlands and Mali, and the West African country's leading supplier in April 2025. As a reminder, the head of the Senegalese government was accompanied during his visit by a large high-level ministerial and technical delegation.
Sankole Janko filed the report.
More stories coming up on West Africa Democracy Radio. Newslink continues.
Let's delve into politics and the impending elections in Côte d'Ivoire, where President Alassane Ouattara continues to maintain suspense over whether he will seek re-election in the October 2025 presidential polls. At the close of his party's congress on Sunday in Abidjan, where the ruling RHDP officially endorsed him as its candidate, President Ouattara stopped short of accepting the nomination, instead asking for more time to reflect. President Ouattara said he would take a few days to decide whether to accept the party's call to run in the upcoming election, which is just 4 months away. Here is President Ouattara.
You have told me, Mr. President, not to abandon you. After so many battles fought together, I feel the strength and sincerity of your call. These calls I cannot ignore. I have heard you. I understand you. I thank you for your trust. In the coming days, after careful reflection, with all my soul and conscience, I will make a decision.
President Ouattara. Meanwhile, the Ivorian leader says he needs time to carefully consider his decision, the political opposition has issued a strong warning cautioning that a new bid for the presidency would amount to an excessive fourth term. Damana Adiapikas is a senior member of the PPACI party. He expressed concerns about the implications of another run, which it insists would represent a fourth term in office.
President Alassane Ouattara has exhausted his terms in office. As head of state of Côte d'Ivoire, he was entitled to 2 terms, and he completed those 2 terms. So there was really nothing to think about. He could have responded honestly by telling them that under the Ivorian constitution, which is the supreme law, he is unable to answer their call favorably, and that he considers this gathering a farewell for the time he has spent leading the country.
You just heard Damana Adiapikas, a senior member of the opposition PPACI party, reacting to President Ouattara's delay to state whether he would seek re-election in the October presidential polls. Let's not stay a while longer in Côte d'Ivoire, because supporters of the Côte d'Ivoire's ruling party RHDP say they are optimistic that President Alassane Ouattara will respond favorably to calls for him to contest in the October 2025 presidential election. Their confidence follows a wave of endorsements urging the president to seek another term, despite lingering debates around term limits and succession. Many within the party argue that Ouattara's leadership remains crucial for national stability and economic growth. While the president has not officially decided his intentions, insiders believe a decision may be announced in the coming weeks.
We hope to have clarity in any case. That's the hope of all the party supporters. But the final word belongs to the President of the Republic, the party leader. It's up to him to make the final decision. But in any case, this is a formal request we are expressing.
We've been waiting for a long time. We are waiting for that answer. We hope he will give us a satisfying response, one that is clearly a yes.
For the party supporters, it's very, very clear. There is only one candidate, President Alassane Ouattara, and there will only be one winner in October 2025, President Alassane Ouattara.
So you just heard some supporters of the ruling RHDP in Côte d'Ivoire. In similar political development brought in Benin, the upcoming 2026 presidential election is at the center of political discussions, with increasing concerns about who will be the government presidential candidate. During a press conference in Cotonou, government spokesperson Wilfred Liondrun-Mende clarified the timeline for announcing the candidate for the ruling party's coalition ahead of the April 2026 presidential election. He stated that the candidate will be revealed in October 12, 2025, just 5 months before the election. President Patrice Talon, who has been in office since 2016, has consistently asserted that he will not seek a third term, despite ongoing speculations and pressure regarding his potential candidacy. Elsewhere in Liberia, former House Speaker Fonati Kofa and 3 other lawmakers face potential rearrest if they fail to demonstrate the legitimacy of their financial guarantees submitted to the Monrovia City Court. The court issued a directive requiring the officials to substantiate their bond arrangement within a 24-hour window or face imminent rearrest. The order was issued by Judge Ben Bako on Monday after a review of the case, which was revived last week following a challenge from prosecutor with a mandate from criminal court. A judge Roosevelt really questioning the adequacy of the bill posting. The case involved multiple criminal charges of arson against Representative Abu Kamara, Jacob Deby, Dixon Sebo, as well as Kofa, the former speaker. The defendants were given a deadline of June 24 to present the sureties documentation before the court. After the Monday's proceedings, Solicitor General Augustine Faye expressed support for the court stance, emphasizing that the accused must either prove the bill is valid or face returning to detention.
These are the simplest things we need. There is no way out. The bill is inadequate. Did we file the bill in time? Yes, we filed it in time, meaning with the